You think you know Mustangs? Think again. We all know about the Shelby GT500, the Boss 429, and the Mach 1. But Ford's legendary pony car has a secret side, a rare breed of Mustangs that most people have never even seen. These aren't your typical classics. These are unicorns, Mustangs built in tiny numbers, some for racing, some as prototypes, and some that barely made it off the drawing board. You won't find them at your average car show. You won't read about them in most magazines. But trust me, they exist, and they're some of the wildest Mustangs ever made. So what are they? Where did they come from? Stick around, because today we're revealing the 5 rarest Mustangs you've never heard of. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. If you're into classic cars, deep dives, and rare automotive treasures, you're in the right place. Today's video is all about the hidden side of Mustang history. We'll walk you through 5 Mustangs that are so rare, even hardcore collectors do double takes. These aren't just cool-looking cars. They each have a story, a purpose, and a place in Ford history. Some were built to race, some were built to test new ideas, and some were just plain misunderstood. By the end of this video, you'll know more about Mustangs than 99% of car fans. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find your new dream car. Hit that like button, subscribe for more rare car content, and let's get into it. Because these 5 Mustangs, they're the ones nobody talks about, but everyone should. Point 5. 1967 Shelby GT 500 Super Snake. Let's kick things off with a monster, the 1967 Shelby GT 500 Super Snake. You've probably heard of the GT 500, but the Super Snake? That's a whole different beast. Only one was ever made. That's right, just one. Carroll Shelby built it as a high-speed tire test car for Goodyear. It had a 427 cubic inch V8 straight from a Le Mans winning GT40 race car. This thing hit 170 miles per hour in testing, faster than anything else on American roads at the time. Shelby wanted to build 50 of them, but the price was just too high. So the project was scrapped, and only the original test car remained. It disappeared for decades and finally resurfaced at auction, selling for over $2 million. It's a true one-off and a must-know for any Mustang fan. The Super Snake proves that sometimes the rarest cars are also the fastest. Point 4. 1970 Mustang Boss 302 prototype convertible. Next up, we've got something that never even made it to production. The 1970 Boss 302 convertible prototype. The Boss 302 was built for Trans Am racing and is usually seen as a hardtop. But Ford actually built just one convertible version as a prototype. Why? Probably just to test interest, or maybe for internal use. It had all the Boss 302 goodies: high revving, V8, close ratio 4-speed, performance suspension, but with a drop top that made it truly unique. It was painted grabber blue with white interior, absolutely stunning. This car was never offered to the public. Somehow, it survived, changed hands quietly, and now lives in a private collection. Most people don't even know it exists, but it's a glimpse into what could have been. 3 to 1966 Mustang, Shelby GT 350 convertible. Now, let's talk about a Shelby you really don't see every day. The 1966 Shelby GT 350 convertible. Only 4 of these were ever made. Just 4. Carroll Shelby never intended to offer a convertible GT 350 at the time, but in 1966, as a bit of an experiment and likely a marketing move, he approved 4 convertibles for VIPs. They had all the same performance upgrades as the coupe versions: Hippo, 289 V8s, side exit exhausts, and Shelby styling inside and out, but with the added cool factor of a drop top. Each car was slightly different, which adds to their mystique. They weren't part of the regular production run, so they're not officially counted in GT 350 totals. But collectors know the truth, and when one pops up, it's big news. The 1966 Shelby GT 350 convertible is as exclusive as it gets. Point 2. 1980 Mustang McLaren M81. Here's one you've probably never heard of: the 1980 Mustang McLaren M81. Yes, that McLaren, the racing legends from across the pond. Ford teamed up with McLaren to build a limited-run, high-performance version of the Fox body Mustang. It had a turbocharged 2.3L 4-cylinder custom suspension, unique bodywork, and flashy colors. Only 10 cars were ever built. The idea was to prove that even small displacement Mustangs could be exciting. It was ahead of its time, with sharp styling and focused engineering. But at nearly $25,000 in 1980, it was way too expensive for most people. The program quietly ended, but the M81 remains one of the rarest and strangest Mustangs ever made. A turbocharged oddball with racing roots, and now a collector's dream. Point 1. 1964 Mustang 3 Shorty Prototype at number 1. We have a Mustang that almost never made it out of the lab. The 1964 Mustang 3 Shorty prototype. This was Ford's experiment to create a two-seater Mustang coupe, built before the regular Mustang even launched. It was 6 inches shorter than the production model and had a futuristic fiberglass body. Only one was ever built, by designer Vince Gardner. He created it as a possible sports car version of the upcoming Mustang. It was sleek, compact, and loaded with style. But Ford didn't go for it. They wanted the Mustang to C4. The car was literally hidden in a warehouse for years, forgotten by almost everyone. It was rediscovered decades later and restored to its original glory. Today, it's in a museum, showing what the Mustang could have looked like if Ford had gone full sports car. The Shorty is one of the earliest and rarest Mustangs in existence. Why are these cars so rare? So what makes these Mustangs so incredibly rare? Most were never meant for mass production. They were built for testing, marketing, or special people behind the scenes. Sometimes they were too expensive, or the market just wasn't ready. Other times, Ford simply changed direction before pulling the trigger. That's what makes them so fascinating. Each one tells a story about a moment in Mustang history that almost happened. They're like hidden chapters in the Mustang legacy. And because they were built in such low numbers, they've become incredibly valuable. Collectors hunt for them, museums preserve them, and fans like us, we admire them from afar. Because rarity always adds mystery, and mystery keeps the legend alive. Now you're probably wondering, can anyone even buy one of these cars today? Well, it's tough. Most of these Mustangs are locked away in private collections or museums. When they do come up for sale, it's usually at big-name auctions like Barrett-Jackson or Mecum, and the prices? Easily into the 6 or 7 figures. These aren't cars you find on Craigslist or parked behind a barn. They're unicorns, tracked, hunted, and fiercely protected by serious collectors. But sometimes a forgotten one surfaces, and it makes headlines. If you're lucky enough to see one in person, soak it in. It's like spotting a wild animal no one thought still existed. Because these cars aren't just Mustangs, they're history on wheels. You might ask, why should I care about a car I'll never see or own? And that's a fair question. But here's the thing. These rare Mustangs help us understand what makes the Mustang story so rich. It's not just about the ones we all know. It's also about the what-ifs, the one-offs, the risks Ford took along the way. Each rare Mustang shows how designers and engineers pushed boundaries. They reveal Ford's willingness to experiment, to try something new, even if it didn't always stick. And for fans, it's exciting to know that your favorite car has a hidden side, a secret history that's still being uncovered piece by piece. So even if you never drive a GT350 convertible or a McLaren M81, you know they're part of the family. And that knowledge makes Mustang culture even richer. It's more than a car, it's a legacy. So there you have it, the 5 rarest Mustangs you've never heard of. From turbocharged oddballs to one-off prototypes, each car is a chapter in Ford's bold and unpredictable history. They remind us that muscle car legends weren't built on mass production alone. They were shaped by wild ideas, secret builds, and bold experiments. And even today, those rare Mustangs continue to inspire curiosity and passion. Which one blew your mind the most? Drop your favorite in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow car lover. We'll be back with more rare rides, forgotten legends, and automotive deep cuts. Thanks for watching. And remember, the rarest cars aren't just machines. They're stories on wheels. See you next time.